Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Claire. I am an intuitive, a coach, and conscious creator. So today we are talking a little bit about the eclipse. So as I have mentioned before, my strength does not lie in like knowing all this information about like astrology and when the moon is full. And I mean, I do know when those things are happening because I look it up. And then my like where my special interest lies is emotion, intuition, um, communication, connection with spirit, like that sort of thing. And then I feel into how that like correlates with whatever's happening in the world, in the universe, whatever. So at the moment, it is the solar eclipse and the new moon on the 12th of August, but this message will probably still be relevant for if you watch this afterwards. It's relevant when you watch it. That's kind of how I'm feeling. But yeah, see how it feels as you listen to the messages. What's coming up really strongly for me and what I'm feeling into a lot. And it's really like into the heart space. So if you feel like taking your hands to your heart for a moment, feeling into the heart space, especially for those of us who are very sensitive, very much more in like the intuitive side of things. I'm feeling that feeling of it's like the ground beneath you is uneven. It's like the foundations that you've built are unstable. And this could be in any area of your life where we start questioning the I almost want to just say we start questioning everything. So whether you're questioning beliefs or you're questioning relationships or you're questioning your place in the world or you're questioning your belief systems around spirituality, whatever it is, um, that's what's coming up for me really strongly in this over this eclipse time, like before it, during it, maybe after it. We'll see how it goes. And I felt like I just wanted to share, like, what's the point of sharing that? Is that the reason that sometimes our foundation needs to like crack, and why we start questioning things and looking at new ways of doing things is because it's time to step up and look at new ways of doing things. And why do we need to do that? So for me, as I feel into it, it feels a lot like the evolution of the soul. And a lot of the times I will ask myself, why do I have to go through this? Why am I going through this again? Or why does this feel so difficult, like to get through? And the answer that I keep getting is, and it's hard. The answer that I keep getting and something that keeps coming through for me is that this was chosen. So it's not like, and often you might see this online or wherever you're hanging out, like this is not happening to you, it's happening for you. We choose the things we go through for a reason. And this might be real for you, it might not. This is the way that I'm interpreting it. And the reason is often lessons, 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 lessons. I don't think we always fully appreciate that the human experience was chosen in order for us to learn and learn and learn and relearn and unlearn. And there are many of you, um, and I'm going to do a video on cycle breakers after this, so you might see it later this week. It might pop up. There are many of us who are cycle breaking. Actually, most of us, in some way or another, we're trying to do things differently than the previous generations. But there's a specific thing now that's happening where there are people who are here for that reason. And sometimes they are the ones who are making the decisions that look different for their family. And it can feel really lonely and it can feel really challenging. But the message is to keep going forward, to keep connecting with spirit, to keep connecting with your guides, to keep connecting with whatever feels right for you, God, angels, past loved ones, whatever feels comforting, whatever feels supportive. If you can reach out to people, if you can't, then really like to fully lean on spirit, because Spirit knows what we're going through and what we're experiencing more, almost more than we do. If we tap into our higher self knows why we came, why we're going through what we're going through. It reminds me of a story from a few years ago where I kept checking in, because I do that. Like, I check in discernment. Should I do this? Shouldn't I do this? And I check to feel in my body, like, how does this feel? Should I make this decision? Should I step forward? Should I step back? Sometimes I use cards, but the more I used cards over the years, the more I started feeling the feelings without the cards, if that makes sense. The yes, the no. And I had this feeling where I was like, should I move forward with this person? We were running something together. Should I move forward with this person? And it's weird because I'm going to say this. I feel like I need to say this. The answer that I received was, yes, it's not going to be easy. You'll see why. And I was like, okay. And I was asked to trust. And I moved forward with this project, and everything played out. And it ended up being an incredibly challenging lesson that I had to learn. But when I came on the other side, I realized why the yes was still a yes. Like, I didn't want to, like, if someone had said to me, this is what you're going to go through, it's going to feel like, it's going to feel like ripping your heart open and everything spilling out. Like, it's going to feel terrible. I would have said, no, I'm not doing that. And then I would have missed out on some of the most valuable lessons I needed to learn. And I'm still learning. So I think the message here, and the reason that I feel I need to share that story, is because sometimes the hardest things we go through bring us the most valuable and beautiful lessons. And then the big reminder that I'm being called to say for myself and others is that it's not a matter of us versus the other people, because we've made these agreements, we've made these contracts with people in order to learn, and then it's up to us to take responsibility for our part of the learning. It's up to us to say, I'm ready to learn this lesson. I'm ready to move forward. And yes, it's hard because that person brought it up to, brought it out in me. Yes, it's hard because this has happened and this person has said this or done this, and it has created the storm that I'm now in. But reminding myself and reminding ourselves that that's all part of it. If they were not there to do that, we would not have been in the storm that is going to bring us the lesson. Um, so I feel like maybe if we just close our eyes and just allow yourself to imagine the eye of the storm, whatever that storm looks like, whatever it is that you feel is heavy on your heart, maybe. If you are not feeling heavy in your heart and it doesn't feel like you're in a storm, then that's okay. Then, then maybe this isn't for you. But if you are, maybe tap into the eye of the storm, because that's where we find God. That's where we find our truest support of, and we're not always going to understand it, but spirit, God, source, the creator, energy, we are so connected, we are so one, and we don't always have to understand why, but we've made a decision to go through these storms, and it's not happening to us. We're not being pushed into the storm, we're not being pulled into the storm. In some way or another, we are stepping into that storm in order to grow, in order to learn, in order to connect more deeply with ourselves and God, and find that space within our heart where we are one together. And I'm going to ask you just to take a moment to tap into what that feels like for you. The oneness of you and Creator God. Maybe visualizing that connection in your heart, all around you. You are so deeply held and deeply loved that anything you go through is divinely orchestrated. It's happening with you. You're part of it. You're part of it. And I think trust is often the hardest part, and we're being asked just to lean into trust, to surrender to the storm, and to keep moving forward, and to remember that we have love and support and guidance all around us. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. And I feel prompted to speak about something that's come up for me, even in this eclipse, is I don't know, like the whole reason why, why? Where is God? Where are our guides? Why are they there? Divine, divine masters, like ascended masters, angels, like what's happening? Why are we doing this? Why do we need them? Why do we need to connect? What are we doing? And even as I'm saying it, I'm being shown like ladders of people or like rows of people. And it's like the people that came before us, the lives we lived before this, whatever it is, both, they're all like one in the same, that we are being called to keep evolving, to keep moving forward, to keep learning, just as every generation has learned before us. But a reminder that and it's not to say it's better or it's this or it's that, but the age that we are living in now is like no other. Every age has been like no other, but this one is the age of something much bigger than we could have planned for. And we are being asked and called to fully embrace this path of awakening, of opening our hearts, of connecting so deeply to what the divine God source means for you, not what other people are telling you to do. And I wrote this down, questioning the gurus, questioning those who are telling us what to believe, what to think, where to think it, how to think it, and say, what do I believe? What is true for me? How can I tap into my truest connection with God without all the noise, without everybody else in the picture? Just tapping into who God is for you, right in the center of your heart or whatever it feels like for you. um, and taking that step because the relationship that you have with God, personal relationship, is the one that is going to bring you closer to yourself and others in the long run because everything is connected. We are all one and the same. There is a network that's happening, and maybe if you step back and you see what's happening on social media that people are talking about, or you speak to friends or whatever it is, there are threads, there are patterns, there are lessons, there are energies. It's all aligning in one way or another. And a really big message that came through for me this week, or a really big thing that I was thinking of, is how there was kind of this thing of like the great divide, like the ones who will and the ones who won't. And part of me was like, I don't believe that that's a thing. We are all on this planet at the same time. We've been called to awaken, we've been called to rise. Whether there are people that aren't or people that are, I choose to focus on the rising. I choose to focus on the light that is shining on the darkness. I choose to focus on the collective shift that's happening rather than thinking of it as a divide, as a right, wrong, yes, no. It's just let's focus on the good, let's focus on the rising, let's focus on the love that is in each one of us. So I was going to do cards, and I think I still will just see what comes through. I'm going to do 3 cards, see if it maybe um, yeah, confirms what we've been speaking about. I want to pull the 4th one as well. So this one I have had almost every reading that I've done. It's to keep moving forward, which is what I just said. Keep moving forward. Follow your own follow the feathers that come up for you, feathers, signs, symbols, things that are coming up for you really strongly. Follow them, follow your guidance, follow your inner heart guidance. Keep moving forward. There's going to be noise, there's going to be people telling you no, yes, maybe, thoughts circling like about whatever, and you're being called to go back to the heart. Keep moving forward, keep holding on to trust, seeing things from a new perspective. So, like I mentioned, looking at things, beliefs, old patterns, looking at things from a different angle and saying, what else is there? What does it really mean for me? And then that's where the enlightenment comes. That's where the opening of the heart comes. And then we have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands energy is to embrace the bits of joy that come up in the storms. So the way I'm seeing it is like the fire within the heart that we spoke about, the year of the fire horse. That's what we're in, and it's all about forward movement, but forward movement with discernment, forward movement that feels right, that feels connected to our hearts, that feels um aligned. I think I've already said that word, but yeah. And then the last card, I was only going to pull three, but something made me want to do the Nine of Wands. It's a feeling of standing in your power, standing in your power while letting your truths be your truths. Like it's almost as if like you can have 20 people standing in their power in different ways and for different reasons. It's not about how, it's not about who, it's just about doing it for you and what it means for you. I think the strong message that keeps coming through here is like individual power, individual strength, individual connection in order to connect more deeply with the collective of everyone else that is on the planet and in the spiritual realm. And the last thing I'm being called to speak on and feel that I want to speak on is the connection to our past loved ones, whether it's grandparents or great grandparents. I've had a great grandparent coming through for me this week, and it's been really helpful and really enlightening and really interesting to receive kind of messages that I wasn't aware of, things that have been so helpful and comforting. And I think, again, reminding people, reminding you that you can connect. So, yes, it's helpful to go for a reading. Yes, it's helpful to ask others to help you connect. But each and every one of us, when we open our heart to connect, can connect as deeply as we wish to connect with our past loved ones. And the reason is for healing, for for comfort, for connecting with the messaging that helps us to keep moving forward. I think so often we think like we are living in our like bubble of this life, of this generation, but we sometimes forget all the lessons that have happened before us, myself included, all the cycle breaking that's happened before us. We are not the only generation that have like landed on this earth and been like, I'm going to make changes. Like change has happened for the good and not always for the good. Sometimes things that have been hurtful and harmful. But we are being reminded that there are those that came before us that have made changes for the good. And also like it's this big like thank you for making changes to our family. I want to say that again for each and every one of you that are making the changes, that are tapping into the heart. Excuse me. There's a gratitude, a thank you for making the changes for the family. Thank you. Thank you for moving forward even when it's been difficult, even when it's been challenging, because it makes a difference for the future generations to come. It makes a difference to the energies that just radiate. Like it makes a difference. I don't know. I'll finish with this last bit. There's a post that was going around on social media. I don't even know if it's true. They say it's like scientifically proven. I don't know. I don't know. Sorry. It was cold weather. It's got my throat needing to be cleared. Um, I'm gonna mess it up. I'm gonna just say it in my own words, but the visual is one person that's lit up. The energy is radiant and it's beautiful and it's full of love and healing. And they're walking, and as they walk, it's just touching everyone around them. And it said something like, when you like raise your vibration and you spread your light, it reaches like 7,000 people or something. I mean, I don't know how accurate it is, but it doesn't matter. The visual is what stuck with me, because the more we, and it doesn't have to be raising, it's not like trying to be better, I'm raising above these people. It's not that. It's tapping into the heart, being a light, being a light that just stands and be a light, and then letting that light radiate outwards. And it touches others, and other people's light touches us. Sometimes we forget that it's both ways. We are being lit up as well. As lights, we are lit by other lights, like a candle being lit by other candles to make one room full of candles. What a metaphor. Okay. Thank you all for being here. I hope that this was helpful. Stay warm if you are in Joburg. I suppose it is going to start warming up, but yeah, if you feel called to, let me know in the comments how this eclipse has been for you, if any of these messages resonated for you. Um, yeah, it does help for me to know how it connects for you, and if it can help others. I feel like we co-create a space. Like you might have felt something different, and someone could read it in the comments and go, "Whoa, that was really helpful for me." But yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day further, and I'll be back next week. Bye.